Yes.
All right.
Perfect. All right, so the floor is yours, Geoff.
And so do you know if there's audio? So like some of the media in PowerPoint has audio attached. Will that come through? Do you know?
Oh, we should have sound checked that. Not to worry, I didn't know that. So possibly not. I mean, we'll either deafen people or you can hit the audio here. Just hit that thing and see if you.
Oh yeah.
Oh, lovely. Yeah.
All right, beauty.
And there's no classes next to it. You can get as loud as you want. I think.
All right. So as you probably already know, my name is Geoff Regier, and I'm here to talk to you guys about the ethics of animal consumption. And so I spent, let me just say something about this picture. This is me and the cow in my face. That's Desi. He actually lives on a farm sanctuary in Albuquerque. Yeah, he's awesome. He's like a 2,000-pound puppy dog. And you guys, if you ever feel like it, you guys can go visit the Happy Bird Farm Sanctuary and meet him and many other animals, rescued animals. So, as part of this talk, I'm going to tell my story to make the points and also get into animal agriculture and what it's like. So, I grew up on a small family farm, a hobby farm really, and like every kid, I loved animals. I wanted to be around them as much as possible. I loved animals so much that when I was 12, I started volunteering and eventually working at the Greater Vancouver Zoo in Albuquerque. On the farm, I remember telling my dad, I said, hey Dad, we could get some more cows, more pigs, we could cram more animals into these pens, and I thought, man, that would be awesome. There'd be more animals for me to hang out with. What I didn't realize then, but what's obvious now, is that my love for animals was about me. It was about how they made me feel when I was around them, and obviously wanting to cram as many as I could into a pen wasn't taking their interests into consideration. So this is Grace, and so she's a baby lamb, and I would say of all the relationships I've had with animals, this is probably the most special. So Grace was orphaned. She was the lone survivor of triplets. So her two siblings and mother died during birth from pregnancy complications. So, and actually Grace was blind for the first 2 weeks, her first 2 weeks of life. So she never actually saw her own mother. So I was her mother. This is me and Grace, and I would have been 16, like grade 11 in this picture. And Grace would sleep with me, I would feed her. She had this heart-melting desperation just to be near you. And like most mammal babies, this picture just to kind of give you, I guess, a sense of her size scale. Like the cat is significantly bigger than she is.
If you could just clarify what animal we're looking at here, Geoff.
So we're looking at a baby lamb cuddled up next to a cat on the kitchen floor in the house where I grew up. And the cat is noticeably bigger than this baby lamb. And so like most mammal babies, she needs to be fed every couple hours. And so, I was in school, I went to school, and both my parents worked during the day, but my mom was a teacher at the school I went to. So Grace came to school, and I got to take her outside at recess and lunch break, and she would just rip around the playground, the soccer field, leaping in the air, kicking her hoops, just pure joy. And not surprisingly, all the kids would be calling her name because everybody wants, who doesn't want to pet and cuddle a baby lamb? And she could be on the other side of the soccer field, and I just say her name once, and she recognizes my voice. Even though all the kids are calling her name, it doesn't matter. She stops what she's doing, she makes a beeline for me, because of the strong bond that she had with humans. She had actually never seen, growing up, she never even saw another sheep. As far as she was concerned, she was a human. She wouldn't have known what a sheep was. Amidst the happy memories of living on the farm, there were some less happy memories. It was unpleasant to see baby lambs taken from their mothers, loaded into trailers to be taken to the slaughterhouse, desperately calling out to each other. Or seeing cows and calves in agony as they were restrained, dehorned, or castrated. But that was just a part of farming, and I got used to it. I accepted the comfortable lie that it's okay to inflict suffering on, mutilate, confine, and kill other sentient beings for my own indulgence. It wasn't until 24 I went vegetarian. I'd never seen inside a slaughterhouse. I had certainly never been inside a slaughterhouse. I'd never been on a real commercial farm. The farm that I grew up on was 10 acres. It was a hobby farm. But I understood, just I think most people understand, hey, if we're eating meat, something not nice had to happen to an animal before arriving on my plate. So I went vegetarian. And then when I was 27, I stumbled across this documentary, and it changed my life. If it wasn't for this documentary, I would not be standing here right now. It totally changed the trajectory of my life, and it showed a comprehensive, in-depth look inside animal agriculture, specifically, or at least more important to me, or more relevant to me, the dairy and the egg industry. Because I think a lot of people think, well, okay, yeah, you kill an animal, you send it to the slaughterhouse, it's not nice. But what's wrong with the dairy or egg industry? Chicken lays an egg, you just take the egg. What's the harm? And same thing with cows and milk.
Could you just let us know what the name of this documentary was that you watched, Geoff?
Yes, so this is Earthlings. So I believe this was, it was made in maybe 2004. There's I'll say basically a newer version, a much more contemporary version of this, called Dominion. And this is where I get to pat myself on the back. They used some of the footage that I shot as an undercover investigator in that documentary. Only a small amount, I think, because it's mostly about animal agriculture in Australia. But I would say in the developed world, we use the same technology, the same systems for farming across the developed world. When I was, 27, went vegan. When I was 29, I began working as an undercover investigator in farms and slaughterhouses across Canada. So I did that for 3 years, and so what that means is I would get employment. I would just apply for work at any farm, any slaughterhouse, whoever was hiring, and whoever hired me, that's where I was doing an investigation. Every farm and every slaughterhouse was chosen at random, and at every farm and every slaughterhouse, there was a tremendous amount of physical and psychological suffering, just rampant animal abuse. And after every investigation, there'd be a media story, there'd be a media frenzy, and the media would focus on the more gratuitous, egregious forms of violence, things that people might consider as not inherent to the industry. And these are, I definitely can't say this happens at every farm, because I've never been to every farm. But what I can say is, everything you see in these images, although it might not seem like it, everything you see is related to the job. This guy here, stomping on this cow's head, he's not doing that because he wants to hurt the animal, because he's a psychopath. This cow has collapsed in the milking parlor. And the first thing you do, at least at this farm, to try and get them to stand up, because obviously they're way too heavy for you to drag out by hand, is, as you can see, kicking them, punching them, beating them. These canes that you see the workers holding, beating the cows with, those are provided by the farm for that purpose. To either, well, in this case, try and get the cows up, or force the cows into the milking parlor, because sometimes they don't want to go in. And I could only speculate as to why they wouldn't want to. Maybe they're afraid of the moving machinery, maybe they have mastitis and it's painful. For whatever reason, some of them don't want to go in. And this is how you force them in. When you have a down cow in the milking parlor, if beating them and kicking them and punching them doesn't work, they would bring a tractor over, wrap a chain around the cow's neck, and hook it up to the tractor bucket, and pick that cow up by her neck and pull her out, so you can just keep going. So these are the kind of details that the media would focus on. But again, I want to tell you the story of what the story the media doesn't tell you. I want to tell you what it's like on the nicest grass-fed, local, organic, humane certified farms in all of Canada, where industry follows best practices, just the best of the best. The farms where that source animal products at, say, Whole Foods that genuinely caring, compassionate people pay extra money for, humane certified animal products, because they genuinely care. So there are many subsectors, subgroups within animal agriculture, and I won't talk about all of them, but I want to talk about a few of them. And to start, I want to talk about the egg industry. What's it like for chickens on the nicest, free-range, local, organic, humane certified farms? Well, the life of an egg-laying hen begins at the hatchery. And in the egg industry, not surprisingly, there's no use for males. Males are a waste product of the egg industry, so the first thing you know is being separated. They sort them. And the way they do that is you can tell by, you look at the wing, and there's it's a subtle difference, but you can tell, you can sort them. And so the males are either dropped into an industrial blender, alive, fully conscious, or stuffed into plastic garbage bags and suffocated. And not only is this humane certified, you cannot buy eggs anywhere in Canada, and probably the developed world, that does not involve this process. Even the eggs on the small farm I grew up on involve this process. Our chickens came from the same hatchery as everybody else. And so they'll take the pulp of ground up chicks and they'll put it back into animal feed. And interestingly, when I was working at the zoo, they would get bags of dead chicks to feed to, and they would use them to feed to birds of prey, maybe reptiles. And sometimes when that bag of dead chicks arrives, you open up the top of the bag, sometimes there's a few chicks that hadn't suffocated yet. So that's just the beginning of the life of an egg-laying hen. On the nicest farms, I think it's actually far worse to be a female. The females will go on the conveyor belt to the next room, will have the ends of their beaks seared off with either a laser or a hot blade. And they do this because when you confine chickens so densely, they'll self-mutilate, they'll mutilate each other. And so it's a way of really protecting their investment, protecting their profits. Now, a chicken would normally lay maybe around 15 eggs a year. Just like most birds, they nest in the spring. But we've selectively bred chickens, egg-laying chickens, to lay between 300 and 400 eggs a year. It's not surprising that, and these chickens would normally live between 10 and 12 years, but on egg farms, their bodies are done, their bodies are wrecked after a year and a half of egg production. That's not surprising given the number of eggs they've been selectively bred to lay. It takes an enormous toll on their bodies. at the end of that year and a half, like they don't actually stop laying eggs. People think that, oh, their egg production goes down, and maybe it does slightly, but the reason that they're no good anymore, or no longer useful, is because they're so calcium depleted, they can't lay an egg with a viable shell. The shell is either just paper thin and it crumples, or there's no shell at all, and you can't sell. You can't sell it in a store. I also worked in an egg packing plant. It gums up the machines. So that's why they get rid of them. And so on the nicest farms, this is on the nicest farms, and then her reward for a year and a half of service as an egg machine is a trip to the slaughterhouse where she's hung upside down. She has her, if everything goes right, has her head dumped in an electrified vat of water, and then her throat slit. That's what happens to chickens on the nicest egg farms in all the country. Now I want to tell you about the dairy industry. As you guys probably know, in order to produce milk, cows and any mammal, they have to have a baby first. That's why they produce milk, to nourish their baby. And to do this, mother cows are restrained and forcibly impregnated, and I won't go into the details, unless you ask later. I'll tell you the details of how it's done. But it's not nice. And just like other mammals, cows are highly maternal. So after they give birth, they'll lovingly lick their babies clean. They have this, cows in particular have a really strong maternal instinct. They just want to care for and nurture their baby, just like any parent would. But we steal their babies from them because otherwise their babies are going to drink their mother's milk. And, well, we can't let the babies drink the milk if we want to drink it. If the baby's a boy, just like males in the egg industry that can't produce eggs, obviously males in the dairy industry can't produce milk. So most male calves at dairy farms, they're killed on site. And they'll be tossed in a dumpster, they'll go to the rendering plant. Some smaller fraction will become veal. Like most people have a moral objection to veal. Like, how could you kill and eat a baby calf? What most people don't know is that the dairy industry is the veal industry. If someone's eating veal, you know two things about it. You know that it's a dairy cow, and you know that it's male. And so this is their life, this is their existence. They're repeatedly forced to fail at what matters most to them over and over. Cows would normally live between 20 and 25 years, but on dairy farms, statistically, their bodies are wrecked after 4 to 6 years. And it's not surprising, given the amount of milk they've been selectively bred to produce. On average, dairy cows produce 70 pounds of milk a day. That's just average. That's not the top. That's average. On the dairy farm I was working at, they had cows producing 150 pounds of milk a day. They're top producing cows. That's probably more than some of the people in this classroom in milk. So just imagine the draw that has on our body, all the protein, the calcium, the fat, the hormones, all of that nourishment that is supposed to make a baby calf grow into a full cow. It's being taken from her body. Wild cows and like beef cows that aren't genetically selected for dairy production, they don't produce these crazy large amounts like dairy cows do. And then after, say, 6 years of milk production, her reward is a trip to the slaughterhouse where they will use a captive bolt gun to punch a hole through the front of her skull. And if done properly, she'll be immobilized. That damages the frontal lobe, the part of the brain responsible for motor function and movement. And hopefully, and most of the time, she'll be unconscious. And she's hung upside down, has her throat slit, and she dies from being bled out. Most people think it's it's the captive bolt to the head that kills them, but no, they actually back and blood loss. And the reason they do it that way is because they want to keep the parietal lobe and the brain stem still intact. Because those are the parts of the brain responsible for keeping the heart beating. Like, we've all seen what bacon or chicken looks like in the store. Like, it's not all bloody, even though it's a body part, it's a muscle. There's virtually no blood in it, and that's because that animal's own heart has very effectively drained that blood. So that's the fate of cows on the nicest, humane certified, grass-fed, free-range dairy farms in all of Canada. I'm not going to say everything about the pork industry, but on humane certified pig farms, we take baby piglets and without any painkillers, we cut off their body parts. We cut off their tails, we cut out their testicles, sometimes we cut off pieces of their ears, sometimes we cut out their teeth. No painkillers are used. Any rational person can see that this is not just torture, this is torture of the highest level. Yet, we put a humane certified stamp on those products. These piglets are screaming in agony, and it's not difficult to imagine why. Imagine for a second if you were out in the city and you saw someone doing these exact same things to a cat or a dog. You would intervene. You'd call the police. You would do something because people care. So we do those things to pigs. If you switch the animal to a dog, you don't put a humane certified stamp on it. The perpetrator faces jail time for criminal animal abuse for doing the exact same things we do to pigs to a dog. So what does that tell us about the way we treat farm animals? And the cruelty isn't just limited to the confinement, mutilations, the slaughter. We bred the cruelty into the animals, and I touched on this briefly with cows, dairy cows, and egg-laying chickens. But I'd say of all the animals that suffers the most as a result of selective breeding, it's probably the broiler hen. You guys might have seen this graphic before showing the difference in size of meat chickens or broiler hens in the 1950s to, well, here it says 2005, but today. They grow